Hello everyone. My name is Vipin Garg, PGT Mathematics, JNV Morigaon. And today we are here for the second lecture on class 12 topic probability. In the last class, I have discussed with you about the basics of probability which we have studied in the earlier classes. So today we are going to start our first topic, that is conditional probability. So, conditional probability. So, what is the conditional probability? Suppose we have given two events, event A and B, and we know that one event will happen after the another event. Then this type of condition is known as conditional probability. Suppose probability of A by B is given is known as probability of A when B has already occurred. Let us try to understand this situation with an example. Okay, suppose I throw a dice. Okay, so on the dice, you know what will be the sample space? The sample space will be containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Suppose one student, I ask, let us see, I have thrown a dice and you just see what has been occurred, and the student comes and tell me, sir, it is an even number. So it is an even number, it means an event A, suppose even number. Okay, then I ask him, is it 2? Then he says yes, it is 2. But if it is 2 or not, I am not sure. So what will be the probability of any another event B 2 occurs? Okay, so we have two events. First is even number will come up, or second is 2 will come up or 2 occurs. Okay, so if we are talking about these two events, these are two different events, but when B is depending on, I am talking about the dependent events. Okay, if B is depending on the choice, on the situation ki already A has been occurred, now what will be the probability of B? So it means probability of B by A. So the probability of B by A means probability of B when A has been already occurred. Okay, so probability of B by A. So this type of condition, this type of probability is known as the conditional probability. We can have many more examples. Suppose there is a family which is having two children. Okay, a survey is going on there. Okay, a family is there and there are two children in the family. So either a boy or a girl. So what is the probability of both are girls if it is known that already youngest is a girl? Fine. So two events are there. First event is both are girls, and second event is youngest is girl. Okay, so in this situation, these two situations are given, two events are given. Now we are to find out the probability of B when we already know that A is there. Okay, both are girls, we know. So what happens ki whenever independently, I am talking about independent events. Suppose an event A is given, B is given, I am finding out the probability of B. Probability of B means the chances in the favor of B out of the total possible outcomes, but in the conditional probability A has already occurred, so the chances, so the points or the possible outcomes of the sample space which are not included in A, only out of those outcomes we have to find out the favorable cases of B. So that is the situation of probability of B by A. Similarly, if we are finding the probability of A by B, it means B has been already occurred. Okay, now the total possible outcomes out of which A would have been chosen or selected, now that has been means now that has been changed into B only, because B has already occurred. So which options, which possible outcomes are not included in B, we are not to choose from them. We are to choose from only those elements which are already in B. So B has occurred, so A out of B, it means A after B. This situation, this practical problem is known as the conditional probability, which is abbreviated by A by B. Fine. So now what will be the formula? This was like a definition, or you can say we can explore the things like this. So now what will be the formula? What will be the identity to find out the conditional probability? So we have two events A and B. So first of all we have to find out the probability of A, okay, probability of B, and then we will have probability of A intersection B, which is known as A and B. In the last video I have also told about this, okay, A and B, what is this is the intersection of probability of A and probability of B, means the possible outcomes which are common in both the favorable cases of A as well as the favorable cases of B. So now we have to find out the common. Okay, suppose I want to find out the probability of A by B, so it means probability of B is there. So the total possible outcome, suppose we are finding out the probability of A, then favorable cases of A and divided by total possible outcomes. But now just 2 minutes before what I told you, okay, now B has been already occurred. So A will not come up out of the total possible outcomes. We have to choose the favorable cases of A out of B. But if we are choosing something A out of B, it means both will happen. So that's why the numerator of this formula will be probability of A intersection B. Means all the possible outcomes of A and B which are common in A and B, we have to find out those elements, those favorable cases out of the B only. That's why this is A after B, probability of A when B has been occurred. I think you get it. So let us clear this thing with an example. I have told about this earlier. So suppose an example is there. Okay, let us throw a die. Let us throw a die. We get an even number. Okay, so it is known which has completed, which has been occurred. It means that has been completed. Okay, so this is given word is there, it is known that it has been occurred, it means it will be the denominator. Okay, now find the probability, that it is 2. So we have two events, event A and event B. Okay, two events are given. We will give the names to these two events. This is your choice. You can give either A to first or to second. Okay, so let us A is we get an even number. Okay, and let us B is we get 2. Statement, we should make the common statement, common type, okay, A if we are starting with we get, or an even number has been occurred. So same statement we should use so that there will be no confusion. Okay, so probability of A and probability of B needs to be found out. Okay, when we are throwing a dice, so what will be the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so what is the situation? What is the event? We get an even number. So how many of these are even numbers? 1, 2, 3. So favorable cases are 3, total possible outcome 6. So probability of A is 1 by 2. Now probability of B, we get 2. So there is no connection between A and B till now. Okay, so we have to find out both the probabilities at different times. Okay, we are not keeping in mind ki A is there or B is there. If we are finding out the probability of A, then we will talk about A only. Okay, then if we are finding the probability of B, then we will be talking about B only. Okay, so we get 2. It means only we have to find out okay, what is the probability of 2. So 2, how many times are there? 1. So it will be okay, and this is not the value of this outcome, this is the number of favorable cases. He is saying how we get 2, so how many times 2 is present there? This is not 2 is there so we will use 2. No, we have to find out how many times 2 is there in the sample space given, that is the number of favorable cases. Fine, so 2 is one time. Okay, 2 is there only once, so that's why this is 1 by 6. Now another point was probability of A intersection B. A intersection B, you know well, from the sample space, what was the A? 2, 4, 6, and B only 2. Okay, so A intersection B in class 11 chapter 1 sets, we have find out how to find out the intersection of two sets, which is the common element. Okay, two sets are there, two events, these are the events A and B na, so these are the subsets of sample space. So we have to find out the common in both of the sets. Okay, so in both of the sets only 2 is common. So how many, again value is not important, how many elements are common there? Only one element is common there, so that's why the probability of A intersection B will be 1 by 6 only. Fine. So now again a confusion arises to the students ki we have suppose in the statement there is no nothing is given like A or B. Sometimes it is given, sometimes it is not given. So whenever it is not given ki which event is A and which event is B, and we are just letting we are assuming that ki this is the event A and this is the event B. So how to find out ki we have to find out A by B or B by A. So how you will find out? Okay, so we have to find out ki we have A by B or B by A. So read the statement once again very carefully. Let us throw a die, okay, for the sample space. One by one, the events will occur. We get an even number. Even number we get, it means it has been occurred. It is not about to occur, it has been occurred. Okay, so it is given that, and what is the statement of A by B? A by B means B is given and we have to find out the probability of A. So now this is the we get an even number, and even number statement is taken as, okay, it means A is given and we have to find out the probability of B. So we have to find out the probability of B and A is given. So the required value will be probability of B by A. So applying the formula, always either A we have to find or B we have to find, numerator will be common, A intersection B. Now which is the denominator here? Probability A. So the probability of A will be here. I hope you got the point. So substituting the values, 1 by 6 divided by probability of A, that is 1 by 2. So on simplifying, it will be 2 by 1, so it will be 1 by 3. So probability of B when A is given is 1 by 3. In simple words, if we will deduce that we are throwing a dice, so total choices were 6, but out of that it is given we get an even number. So the total choices which were 6, now they become 3 only. Out of this we have to find out 2 how many times are there. So 2 is there one time, so that's why this is the 1 by 3, because how many times B is there out of A, that is the real meaning, that is the real concept of the conditional probability. If we have to find out the A by B, it means we have to find out the common points, the favorable cases of A from the B only. Fine. So let us deduce one more example to for some more clarity. In mathematics, for any kind of topic, practice is more important than the conceptual knowledge. Suppose ki you have some revision, you find some class, and you want to study, so 10% is the knowledge, but 90% that is the practice after knowledge. Knowledge is basically the first point, we have to be very careful that, but how much you just listened, how much just you got from the class, after that at least 5 times you have to practice for that to get the ultimate the knowledge of that concept. Okay, so one more example we can have. Suppose three coins are three coins are tossed together. Okay, we okay, three coins are tossed together, find the probability that there are two heads if it is known that at least one heads has been occurred. Okay, so this is the statement. Okay, first of all, read the statement very carefully once or twice so that you can get what is given and what is to be asked. Okay, what he has given to us, and second thing, what is the point that he wants to know from us. So that is the main point. Okay, and you have to read the statement for that very carefully. So the statement is three coins are tossed together. Simultaneously word is there. Okay, I am just writing the statement by myself, so some word may be missing. But you know we are doing the probability. So every statement simultaneously, or what word we say? I forgot just. Simultaneously, and second, at random, randomly, at random, these words are known to be these are there na. Okay, so the coins are not biased, unbiased word. So you think if a coin is biased, it will be given ki a biased coin is tossed, but if it is not given, so it is understood that it is the unbiased coin. Okay, and we are selecting anything at the random or simultaneously, all the words you just. Okay, these are the basic points ki generally we use in the probability, general points na. So three coins are tossed simultaneously, find the probability that there are two heads. So find the probability that हमें probability we have to find out the probability. So there are two heads. So this is the first event we got out from this question. And if it is known that means this statement is given, this event has been already occurred, at least one heads. Okay, so let us first event is two heads will come up, two heads will come up. B event is at least one heads. Okay, so two events were given there, so I just identify them as event A, event B. You can take it E1, E2 or E and F. Okay, any letter of the English alphabet we can use. So this is not any hard and fast rule ki I am using A and B, so you have to use, you can use E1, E2 also, E and F also. P and P you can be confused because P for probability we use, so don't go for P, or X, Y, whatever you can use na. So I hope it is not boring. Otherwise you can adjust the speed of the video as per your choice. If I am too fast, make it 0.75. If I am normal, then you can watch. If you find it slow, you can make it higher also. So whenever you are taking a class, just be comfortable first of all according to your choices. Okay, the other person will adjust according to you in the video, at least it is possible. Okay, so I hope you are not getting bored. So let's come to the point back. So we have the two events, event A and event B. Event A is two heads will come up, and event B to at least one heads. So first of all, what we will do in the last question, what we did? Yes, think about this. Okay, so first of all, we will write down the sample space. These are some basic common questions. Okay, whenever you are doing the chapter of probability, first of all, a sample space of one dice or two dice. Okay, in the coins, one coin, if you are tossing, what will be the sample space? Head and tails. If you are tossing two coins, yeah, I think coming to your mind, get it? Yeah, two heads or two tails, one head, one tails, one tail, one heads. Total four possible outcomes will be there. If you are tossing three coins, then there will be 8 cases. Okay, so you can prepare that. Heads, 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 tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, heads. Okay, so these are three heads, two heads, all cases. Okay, all three can be heads. First two can be heads, second and third can be heads, and first and third can be heads. So one tail will be there first, either first or second or third. Similarly, two tails can be there. Okay, so first will be head, or second will be head, or third can be heads, and last all three can be tails. So these are the all possible outcomes, that is that is in the number of 8. Fine. So first of all, find the probability of event A. So two heads will come up. So what are the possible outcomes? What are the favorable cases of A? Okay, two heads will come up. He has not mentioned any order. Okay, first two will be there, third will be there. He has just asked that two heads should be there. So only exactly two heads will be there. Not more than two, not less than two. Fine. So find the how many cases are there where exactly two heads are given. Okay. So this is one case, heads, heads, tails. So first, then heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, and third one is tails, heads, heads. I think there are only three, because if there are two heads, it means one tail will be there. So one tails will be first or second or third. So three can be there. Similarly, B, at least one heads come up. At least word is very you can say different word, we technical word you can say. Okay, we have to think of at least means whenever you are given ke I have at least this thing, at least one means कि we have that situation, that thing at least one time, means एक बार तो होगा ही वो, one or more than one, one or more than one. So more than one or one. So how at least one heads means कि we have to find out the possible outcomes in which heads has been occurred one or more than one. So three coins are there. So what is the more than one? Maybe two, maybe three. So we have to find out all the possible outcomes that has the heads as one time or two times or three times. So we have to leave only one case कि there is no heads. So that is the only single case. So out of these 8, 7 cases will be there. Okay, 3 times, 2 times, okay, 1 time, this can be left because there is no heads, but he is saying at least one head. At least means minimum one, so not less than one. And if we are taking all the 3 tails, it means 0 heads, that is less than 1. So we cannot take that. So that's why we have to take in B 7 out of 8. So write down the probability of the both events. A 1, 2, 3. So probability of A is equal to 3 out of 8. Similarly, probability of B is 7 times out of 8. Now one more, we have to find out what is the probability of A intersection B, which is common. Head tails, head tails, fine. Head tail heads, tail heads, tails heads. So three, all the three of A are in B. It means A is a subset of B. This is another concept of from the chapter of sets. But we are talking about the probability only. So what is the intersection of A and B? All the 3 points of A. So the probability of A intersection will be probability of 3 by 8. All three values we have got. Now back to the question. Ki 3 coins are tossed. Sample space. Find the probability. We will find that there are 2 heads first. If it is known that at least one heads, A event के we have to find out A event, and given it is known means given is B, so we have to find the probability of A when B is given. So it will be probability of A by B. I hope it is visible in the camera. I hope it is visible. Okay, so the formula we will apply, probability of A intersection B divided of probability of B, then it will be probability of A intersection B 3 by 8 divided by B 7 by 8. So common denominator are there, so it will be cancelled. So 3 by 7. So this kind of questions are known as the questions on conditional probability. So this is all from my side for today, and in the next class we will talk about the total law of probability and as well as dependent events and independent events. Thank you for today.